Hello there. I wanted to make a quick little video here and make an announcement. Long story short, I'm not going to be reviewing any more Amityville movies. And no, that's not a joke. It's been a while coming, and something happened on Thursday that was the straw that broke the camel's back. So, long story short, really, it's not fun anymore. And there's several things. So first of all, what happened on Thursday was I was contacted by a filmmaker, and I just kind of want to preface this by saying that I'm very happy and proud of every single one of my subscribers, viewers, commenters, and so on. But when I get a notification that somebody has signed up for the Rotted Reviews Patreon, it fills my heart. The idea that somebody is actually enjoying my content to the point of wanting to support me on a financial level, in an effort to continue this series, to promote the longevity and the feasibility of continuing this on. And that just means the absolute world to me. So Thursday, I was driving home from lunch, and I get a notification on my Fitbit that, and it's kind of truncated. It's not really it's a smartwatch hybrid kind of thing. It's not really a proper smartwatch. So it's truncated. All I see is that so-and-so has pledged on Patreon, and that's it. And I don't check my phone. I really try not to check my phone while I'm driving. So I get home and I check my phone, and I see the amount, and, it's not an earth-shattering dollar amount, but it's higher than any tier I currently have available and open. Which was like, oh my God, this person really believes in the channel, really wants to support me. And then I hop on my computer and I see the message that was immediately sent. And it's from a filmmaker of an Amityville movie. And I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to drag anybody under the bus. But I look at their IMDb resume, and, it's not the only Amityville movie they have in production right now. So, and the basic gist of the message was very odd. Called me Wolfman. I've never been known as Wolfman. I have never had that applied to me. It's never been a nickname. I don't think anybody's ever called me that before in my life. Basically saying, here's money, here's a screener, please review my Amityville movie. It wasn't even please. It was just, here's my screener, here's so on. And when you do the review, if it's at all possible, don't tell your viewers that you were paid for it. It did not sit well with me at all. Also, just various little things, like asking for my mailing address so that he can send me DVDs, things like that. And if he was actually a fan of the channel, you'd know that I have my mailing address in every description of every review video I've ever put out, ever. And also saying, it was, this was the only way I needed to contact you. It was like, my website and my contact information is not exactly hidden. It's in the description of every video. If you actually follow the channel, if you actually watch my content, if you actually see me as anything other than, a monkey to dance for you, for this amount of money, then you'd already have the information and you'd already know that I wouldn't do this. It didn't sit right. So I immediately refunded the money, and I immediately blocked the user, and I sent a message just basically saying why. I really hated that. I'm not going to lie. I was very offended. I have never taken money from a filmmaker to do a review, and I never will. I know that my channel is devoted to films that have, people shoving shop vacs in people's mouths and sucking their guts out. But I still take my job at the core of it, of being a film critic, very seriously. I don't know about you, but for me, I think that's one thing that kind of sets me apart, is that I approach things with, a sense of fandom and a sense of love for the genre, but without actually like diving into, pure fanboy, apologetic acceptance of every single flaw. Like, no, I analyze things critically and I try to find, what about them works and what about them doesn't. And I'm very, very happy when filmmakers reach out to me and say, hey, I'm just starting out and I'd love it if you would take a look at my movie. Asking me politely if I would do it with no quid pro quo or anything else. I can't promise that I'll get to everything. There's only so many days in the month, but I appreciate that. And I try to honor the requests that come across my desk. Further, the Amityville thing just never really seems to stop, and it's getting tiresome. The bar is lowering more and more, and the joke is getting tired. And I know I'm speaking as somebody that has contributed to this with Amityville Gas Chamber, but that was an April Fool's Day joke, and it was a satirical take on the low effort productions that are going through this. And I'm going to be honest, when I put that out, I was halfway hoping that that would kill the trend. That if I set the bar this low for effort, that people would just, okay, done. And that didn't happen. Now we have Amityville Outhouse, and there's no merit to these new ones. And like I said, the joke is tired. It's played out. And it's not fun anymore. I don't want or need to ever watch another Sean C. Phillips movie. I don't want or need to ever watch another Dustin Ferguson movie. Mark Polonia, okay, there's some fun things there. Amityville in Space did have a few, laugh at the silliness kind of elements, but the dude makes 700 movies a year. I have my pick of the litter without having to drag the Ocean Avenue house into it. And yeah, I mean, that's, and I have a finite amount of windows in which to make movie reviews. YouTube being what it is and trying to avoid oversaturation of the channel, which is a real, thing to watch for as a content creator. It typically means that I can put out, if I'm maintaining my schedule and life and work and everything else isn't getting in the way, which it sometimes does, I'm able to put out 3 reviews a week. That's 12 a month. And subtracting the amount that I need to do for like the rotted requesters, which I'm happy to do. And, that's, like I know I said I've never been paid by a filmmaker to do a movie review, and that holds true. These aren't filmmakers. These aren't people that have any kind of enterprising motives at all. They support the channel. They support a tier that allows them to make a movie recommendation for, hey, this is some trash I want to torture you with, or this is something thoughtful that a lot of other people didn't like, and I want your take on it. Things like that. I'm happy to do those. But taking away those from the 12 possible windows that I have in any given month, that leaves me with 7 or 8 opportunities a month to pick a movie that I want to showcase on the channel. And if I'm dedicating myself to every single Amityville movie, then that's just going to be everything. It's going to take up half the windows there because they just keep coming. And like I said, the bar just keeps getting lowered. And they're all of the same ilk. They're all of the same low effort. They're not so bad they're good. They're just bad. And that's the other thing, is I'm just getting so repetitive in these. And that's something I actively try to avoid. But the problem is they're all equally bad in the same exact ways. How many times do I have to say that there was no story? How many times do I have to say that there was no real acting? And just, there's nothing new being brought to the table. And I need to bow out. And the last bullet point that really kind of hammered this home is there has been more of a community level of entitled expectation that has not sat well with me. I am no longer, I mean, I'm still getting messages from folks that, thank you for doing this. And, this was fun to watch and so on. And I'm happy to do that. I love entertaining people. And I love providing some thoughtful, nuggets of dialogue and things like that. But I've also seen a very strong uptick in messages from folks that are basically, here's the ones you missed. Here's the short films and fan films and low effort documentaries that are exploitative true crime things that you didn't cover and you said you weren't going to cover, but I think you should. So here they are. And that really just, of the literally hundreds of hours of watch time and effort I have put into the production of Amityville alone to get messages basically saying, not enough, here's more. Between the filmmakers, between the low bar being set of the future installments, and between those type of messages, the entirety of it has gotten to the point of toxicity that makes it no longer fun for me. So I'm not going to promise that I won't actively review another Amityville movie. Maybe there'll be one that comes along that actually kind of strikes my interest, something that I want to talk about, something that looks like it's different and unique and fun. Maybe even scary, maybe high production value, who knows? But as far as making a commitment to review every single Amityville movie to be that guy, I'm done. I'm bowing out. So, yeah, I'm going to be putting focus on the things that I want to do. The reason that I do this channel is because it's fun for me. I'm watching movies. I'm enjoying talking about them. It's just what I love to do at the core of my heart. And I don't really have the time to be devoting to something that is actively taking that fun away. I'd rather watch and talk about the movies that, good or bad, are fun. And I know I make the mantra, and I even have merchandise with this on it, of watch more bad movies. But the thing that I love about watching more bad movies, and the reason I strongly and truthfully advocate for that, is because the opportunity that it presents is very rewarding. There are bad movies that are so bad they're good, and they're fantastic for watching with friends. And it's good to build up that, database in your mind of, those films for when you have a movie night with friends and some beers and some popcorn and nachos and that kind of thing. It's good. It's fun. It's, part of the schlock that I love about being a horror fan. And also it gives the opportunity to have some real strong hidden gems in there. You got to take some risks every once in a while. One of the best things, if I'm going to be, as elated as possible in doing the material for this channel, it's going to come from a place of taking a risk on something that was kind of indie, something that was kind of low budget, something that looked like it might not have been too well known, and finding that hidden gem and finding a movie that actually resonated with me and provided me a level of movie watching experience. And then getting so excited because I want to share this. And it's like, oh my God, this nugget that nobody's ever heard of. This is why. I love doing that. I love those opportunities. And I love other people having those opportunities. And I think that taking a risk on watching bad movies, you may get burned 9 times out of 10, but oh my God, is it worth it when that 10th movie happens? But that's the thing, is none of these Amityville movies, like I would say over the last several years, have been in any kind of way redeemable. They're not so bad they're good, like I said. They're not fun. They're not hidden treasures. They're just terrible and boring, and all of them in the exact same way. The last movie of Amityville that I reviewed was Amityville Christmas Vacation, and that was the only one that I can remember in recent years that has actually had some, fun, heartfelt elements to it. And that's basically just a dude making silly films with his cats. And I tip my hat to that. And honestly, if that's the last Amityville movie that I review for this channel, I'd be pretty happy about that. So this is about 15 minutes long so far. I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to dip out, and thank you very much for watching this. I'll see you on the next review. Talk to you soon.